Opposition. The Bundestag is the German federal parliament. It is the only body that is directly elected by the German people on the federal level. It can be compared to a lower house similar to the United States House of Representatives or the House of Commons of the United Kingdom. The Bundestag was established by Title III of the Basic Law for the Federal Republic of Germany in 1949 as one of the legislative bodies of Germany, and thus it is the historical successor to the earlier Reichstag. The members of the Bundestag are representatives of the German people as a whole and are not bound by any orders or instructions and are only held accountable by their electorate. The minimum legal number of members of the Bundestag is 598. However, due to the system of overhang and equalization seats, the current 19th Bundestag has a total of 709 members, making it the largest Bundestag to date. The Bundestag is elected every 4 years by German citizens over the age of 18. Elections use a mixed-member proportional representation system which combines first-past-the-post elected seats with a proportional party list. An early election is only possible in the cases outlined in Articles 63 and 68 of the Grundgesetz. The Bundestag has several functions. Together with the Bundesrat, the Bundestag makes up the legislative branch of the federal government. The individual states of Germany participate through the Bundesrat in legislative process similar to an upper house in a bicameral parliament. However, the Grundgesetz considers the Bundestag and Bundesrat to be separate from each other. The Bundestag and Bundesrat nevertheless work together in the lawmaking procedure on the federal level. The Bundestag also elects the executive and is responsible for executive oversight. The Bundestag also sets the federal budget. Since 1999, it has met in the Reichstag in Berlin. The Bundestag also operates in multiple new government buildings in Berlin and has its own police force. The current president of the Bundestag since 2017 is Wolfgang Schäuble of the CDU. The 19th Bundestag has 5 vice presidents. Bundestag translates as Federal Diet. With Bund, with the dissolution of the German Confederation in 1866 and the founding of the German Empire, the Reichstag did not participate in the appointment of the Chancellor until the parliamentary reforms of October 1918. After the Revolution of November 1918 and the establishment of the Weimar Constitution, women were given the right to vote for to unanimously rubber-stamp the decisions of the government. It last convened on the 26th of April 1942. With the new constitution of 1949, the Bundestag was established as the new West German parliament, because West Berlin was not officially under the jurisdiction of the constitution. A legacy of the Cold War, the Bundestag met in Bonn in several different buildings, including a former waterworks facility. In addition, owing to the city's legal status, citizens of West Berlin were unable to vote in elections to the Bundestag, and were instead represented by 22 non-voting delegates chosen by the House of Representatives, the city's legislature. The Bundeshaus in Bonn is the former parliament building of Germany. The sessions of the German Bundestag were held there from 1949 until its move to Berlin in 1999. Today it houses the International Congress Center Bundeshaus Bonn and in the northern areas the branch office of the Bundesrat, which represents the Länder, the federated states. The southern areas became part of German offices for the United Nations in 2008. The former Reichstag building housed a history exhibition and served occasionally as a conference center. The Reichstag building was also occasionally used as a venue for sittings of the Bundestag and its committees and the Bundesversammlung, the body which elects the German federal president. However, the Soviets harshly protested against the use of the Reichstag building by institutions of the Federal Republic of Germany and tried to disturb the sittings by flying supersonic jets close to the building. Since the 19th of April 1999, the German parliament has again assembled in Berlin in its original Reichstag building, which was built in 1888 based on the plans of German architect Paul Wallow and underwent a significant renovation under the lead of British architect Lord Norman Foster. Parliamentary committees and subcommittees. Public hearings and parliamentary group meetings take place in 3 auxiliary buildings, which surround the Reichstag building: the Jacob Kaiser House, Paul Loeb House and Mary Elizabeth Luders House. In 2005, a small aircraft crashed close to the German parliament. It was then decided to ban private air traffic over central Berlin. Together with the Bundesrat, the Bundestag is the legislative branch of the German political system. Although most legislation is initiated by the executive branch, the Bundestag considers the legislative function its most important responsibility.